Hey there, and welcome back to Etta Financial. I am Lauren Guest, your financial unity coach, and I'm so excited to have you here today. I've been doing lots of these little mini trainings on helping wives show up into their marital finances with confidence and grace. So today we're going to talk about financial peace. I know this is a big topic, and before you shut me off, I'm not talking about getting out of debt, though there will be parts of that in here, but I am talking about a different kind of financial peace. In my finances, I was at a place a few years ago that I wasn't sure I was ever going to be debt free. My husband is a financial free spirit, and I'm sure that you can relate to this. I felt defeated. I felt angry. I was always clenched fist. I was always concerned about these things and anxious about these things. And I knew at that point in time that I needed peace, even if that meant we weren't going to be debt free. I've learned in my journey that financial peace is not a destination. It's not a place that you reach. But if you become debt free, that doesn't mean that you are going to be at peace in your finances. I learned that financial peace was a journey and a choice that I was gonna choose to go on this journey. And in that time, I did a lot of research. I did a lot of scripture reading. I did a lot of praying, a lot of desperate wrestling with God in the middle of the night because I could not sleep. I was so concerned. And this scripture really, really helped me. So in John 16:33, it says, I have said these things to you that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulations. Take heart, I have overcome the world. This scripture I clung to because I knew that at this point I could have peace, because it said you're going to have tribulations in this world, and I felt huge tribulations. So I assume that you're probably in the same shoes if you're here and you're still listening. I've learned that there's two different ways that we go about this thing, and we can flip-flop between the two. I have been in both of them, but it's all about how much grace you are or are not extending to your husband. The first of which is you are not extending any grace. Like, you're like, there is no room for grace in this situation. This type of mentality brings polarization into your marriage, because you're pulling so far one way, he's pulling so far another. It's like magnets that you're trying to hook together, but you have them the wrong way, and they will not go together. They just push apart. That is where you're at. When you are not extending any grace at all, you are bringing legalism into your finances, into your marriage, and you are not going to attract your husband or find a place of understanding with that kind of attitude. That is where I found myself a lot, because I have a personality that is really like, financial stuff makes sense to me. I'm like, this is A, this is B. We want to do C, then we got to put these together. Like, that just made sense to me. Everything just made sense to me, and I could not get that across to my husband. And I was super disciplined. I could be super disciplined and know that this is the end goal, and he was not. He was not disciplined at all. And so I found myself being super legalistic and not extending any grace. Well, when I pulled that way so hard, he was pulling the other way. He was like, man, if I'm going to balance this out, I'm going to go hog wild. And so that is one place that you can find yourself. The other place that you can find yourself, and this is something that can happen really easy for Christian women, or also women who don't want to cause confrontation, and that is that you extend too much grace. I know you're probably, if you're a Christian and you're here, you're like, how does this even happen? Like, can you do that? Can you extend too much grace? Yes. Yes, you can. This extending that much grace is saved for God. When you extend too much grace to your spouse and let them run hog wild all over you, that is paralyzing your financial situation. You're making excuses for him, and there has got to be an end to that. In this place, you need to figure out what kind of boundaries are going to help you and bring progress. And when can we have or not have these discussions? You need to have these conversations with your husband, because the truth is, in scripture it tells us, speak truth in love. You're trying the love part, you're trying to be the loving part, but you're not bringing the truth to the table, and that's not going to balance out, and you're not going to make any progress in your finances by not by extending too much grace and not having any sort of structure. So tell me in the comments, which one do you struggle with? Do you extend way too much grace, or do you withhold way too much grace? Which one do you tend to lean towards? And if you flip-flop between the two, put that down there too. I would love to see kind of where you're at. Y'all have a blessed day.